Afraid of turning? This 5-minute Your Balance Fix restores stability. Hi, my name is Dr. Antonian Vello from the USA. Please support our channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. The most dangerous moment for your stability isn't when you're planted still. It's the split second you glance over your shoulder. Statistics show a staggering number of adults past 60 will take a tumble this year, and almost none of those accidents occur while stationary. They happen mid-motion, swiveling in a narrow corridor, reacting to a sound, scanning the street before crossing. Your capacity to stay upright while your skull moves is the invisible line between confidence and a sudden floor meeting. Today, we are going to uncover your personal stability number. First, a pair of rapid assessments to measure exactly where you stand right now. You will have a written score in just a moment. Then, 3 targeted drills designed to shore up the exact weak points those assessments reveal. All you need is a wall and a chair. Dedicate a mere 5 minutes daily. Let's begin with the evaluation. Before we move a muscle, let's arrange the environment for maximum safety. Clear a lane parallel to a solid wall. Position a reliable chair about 4 or 5 paces ahead of your starting mark. The wall remains at your flank for immediate bracing. Chair serves as both your destination and your visual anchor. Scan the ground meticulously. Remove anything that snags. Folded carpet edges, charging wires, stray house shoes. If a family member is nearby, wonderful, ask them to observe. But this is built to be a solo mission. Prepared? Let's move. Evaluation number 1, the tightrope head pivot. Set yourself parallel to the wall. Rest your left palm against it for a steady base. Shift your feet into a heel-to-toe alignment, as if balancing on a narrow beam. Allow your body to settle. When equilibrium feels solid, lift your hand just an inch from the plaster. Keep it hovering, ready to catch yourself instantly. Here is the challenge. You will slowly rotate your gaze to the right side, then return forward. Then slowly rotate to the left side and return forward. That entire cycle counts as 1 repetition. Your goal is to tally how many complete cycles you manage before stability breaks, meaning you slap the wall, shuffle your stance, or feel a wave of significant wobble. Pace is the secret weapon, no snapping the neck. A calm floating turn to each horizon. Begin. Assume the tandem position. Release the wall when steady. Gaze right, center, gaze left, center. That is 1. Keep the count. Right, center, left, center. 2. Maintain your height. Inhale naturally. Right, center, left, center. 3. Continue at your own rhythm. If you must halt, memorize that digit. If you cruise to 5 repetitions, excellent. That is our ceiling. Stop there. Hold on to that figure. We will circle back shortly. Loosen your limbs. Take a few casual paces. Let your inner gyroscope reset before we proceed to the second challenge. Assessment number 2, the rise, stroll, and return. This examines your fluid balance, the kind required when navigating a crowded room or reversing direction in a kitchen. This is the silent, automatic stability you rely on hundreds of times daily. Take a seat in your chair. Ensure it is braced by a wall or heavy enough not to slide. Rest palms on your thighs. No stopwatch required. We are counting footsteps. On my cue, you will rise from the chair. Advance forward in a straight line adjacent to the wall for 5 measured paces. Halt. Pivot around carefully. Retrace those 5 steps, then lower yourself back into the seat. The wall is your silent companion. Graze it if necessary, but strive to move without gripping. Ready? Palms on knees. Stand. Walk forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. Now turn around. Deliberate motion. No hurry. Walk back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now rotate and descend with intention. Govern the downward motion. No collapsing into the cushion. Standing. Now, assign yourself a tally using this metric. Award 1 mark for each of these 3 actions executed smoothly. Rising upright without using your hands as levers, 1 mark. Swiveling around without staggering or touching the support, 1 mark. Descending in a gradual, controlled manner without a thud, 1 mark. Your result is a 3. Now, let's synthesize the data from both trials. You possess a figure from test 1, your head pivot count capped at 5, and a rating from test 2 ranging up to 3. Combine them. Your aggregate score is out of 8. Note both numbers and the total sum immediately. As an illustration, test 1, 4 turns. Test 2, 3 out of 3. Aggregate, 7 out of 8. Share your digits in the feed below. I want to witness the collective strength of this audience, and tell me your location. We have a remarkable fellowship tuning in from every corner of the map. Here is the interpretation of your total. If you landed at 7 or 8 out of 8, your stability frame. Now, permit me to detail exactly how to elevate those metrics. 3 drills, 5 minutes daily. Let's begin with drill number 3, the seated sensory march. We commence from a chair to establish total security while we stimulate the vestibular network, that intricate gyroscope buried deep within your ear canal. Whenever you redirect your gaze, this apparatus dispatches positional data to your cranium. As years accumulate, that transmission can become sluggish, leading to internal static. That static manifests as the unsteadiness felt when glancing over a shoulder. We are rewiring that pathway right now. Proper form. Sit erect in a secure chair, soles planted, width of your pelvis. Do not slump into the backrest. Maintain an upright torso with a subtle core engagement, palms resting on legs. Initiate a seated walk. Elevate the right knee a modest distance. Lower it. Elevate the left knee. Lower it. Establish a consistent tempo, roughly 1 lift each second. Good. Maintain the march. Here is the critical layer. While the legs continue their rhythm, gradually rotate your gaze toward the right side. Fluid, unhurried sweep, as if tracking a bird passing the window. Hold that rightward gaze for 2 full marching steps, then slowly return your sight to center. Keep those knees pumping. Now direct your gaze to the left side. Same gradual, smooth transit. Hold for 2 steps and return to neutral. That constitutes a single loop. Right, middle, left, middle. All while the lower body sustains the march. Complete 5 full loops. This consumes roughly 60 seconds. Your brain is managing dual responsibilities, coordinating limb motion while interpreting shifting orientation signals from the rotating head. This mirrors precisely what occurs when navigating a grocery aisle and glancing at product displays. This movement trains that exact faculty. Frequent missteps. Error 1, accelerating the head rotation. This is paramount. Whipping the neck overwhelms the delicate inner ear apparatus, triggering vertigo. Visualize the system as a sensitive tuning dial. Rapid spinning yield harsh noise. Gentle arcs yield clarity. Error 2, suspending breath. I witness this perpetually. Concentration on the turn leads to oxygen deprivation. Your neural tissue demands air to compute equilibrium. If you detect breath holding, exhale deliberately and reset. Error 3, halting the leg motion when the head pivots. The lower body freezes upon cranial movement. This negates the benefit. The objective is sustained motion during the turn. If the coordination proves overly complex initially, reduce the march cadence by half, but keep those legs active. Should faint dizziness arise, cease the head rotation immediately. Persist with the march facing forward until clarity returns. Then attempt again with a narrower range of motion. My friends, prior to advancing to drill 2, please tap the like icon and subscribe. It extends the reach of this guidance to fellow seniors who could benefit greatly. Thank you. Let's rise. Drill number 2, supported vertical and lateral head navigation. We are transferring the seated practice into an upright posture. Now the entire musculoskeletal framework must collaborate to preserve steadiness, while the inner balance organ receives stimulation from head displacement. This represents a notable escalation in complexity, hence the presence of the chair. Proper form. Stand directly behind a robust chair. Place both palms atop the backrest. Grip securely, but without tension. The chair is a safety net, not a dependency. Stance at shoulder width. Joints soft, never locked. Spine tall, shoulders dropped. Begin with the horizontal plane. Leisurely turn your sight rightward. Pause for a heartbeat. Leisurely return forward. Now turn leftward. Pause. Return forward. Execute this 5 times per direction. Maintain a rigid torso. Only the cranium articulates. Shoulders must not track the head's movement. Pelvis remains stationary. Envision your body as a marble filler with only the head swiveling. Now we introduce the vertical dimension. Gently drop your chin toward your chest, looking downward. Pause. Return to level. Now gently tip your head backward, gazing toward the seam where wall joins ceiling. Pause. Return to level. Perform this 5 times in each vector. Why incorporate the up and down? Because glancing overhead or down at one's feet is precisely where many individuals encounter imbalance in daily life. Retrieving an item from a high cupboard, tending to collect the morning paper. These routine motions can provoke unsteadiness if the vestibular system lacks conditioning for them. Once horizontal and vertical shifts feel manageable independently, we blend them. Look right, return center, look skyward, return center, look left, return center, look earthward, return center. That completes one integrated cycle. Perform 3 integrated cycles. The guarding advancement. When dual hand support feels effortless, transition to a single hand. When that feels anchored, graduate to just the fingertips grazing the chair. Each reduction in support compels your physiology to shoulder a greater share of the balancing burden, but never force the pace. Remain at each tier until it feels genuinely effortless. Common blunders. Blunder 1. Rotating the entire upper chassis rather than isolating the skull. Monitor this vigilantly. When you glance right, the right collarbone should not retract. When you gaze up, the sternum should not rise. Isolate the neck. All else remains inert. If the shoulders follow the head, it indicates cervical tightness and bodily compensation. Decelerate and focus on motion originating solely above the collar. Blunder 2. Stiffening the knees. While focusing on cranial movement, individuals often solidify their entire frame. Rigid knees are an adversary to stability. They convert you into a stiff plank destined to topple. Slightly bent joints function as shock dampeners. They facilitate minute, reflexive corrections. Assess your knees currently. Are they relaxed? Maintain that state. Blunder 3. Excessive backward tilting. When I indicate tipping the head back, I do not advocate staring directly at the ceiling plaster. Such extreme extension can constrict vascular pathways in the neck and induce legitimate dizziness, particularly in older adults. A mild inclination of roughly 30 degrees suffices. You should perceive the upper border of the wall. That range is ample. Should vertical motion trigger any spinning sensation, eliminate it entirely for the initial week. Concentrate solely on horizontal turns. Reintroduce vertical shifts only after horizontal motion feels entirely instinctive. Your inner ear adapts, but it demands time. And now we culminate with drill number 1. This is the paramount exercise of the session because it synthesizes all elements. Equilibrioception, ambulation, cranial rotation, and motor synergy. When do mishaps genuinely transpire? Never while frozen in place. They occur during transit, while striving and rotating to respond to a greeting, while traversing a parking area and scanning for vehicles. This routine hardens your physique for precisely those scenarios. Proper form. Align yourself parallel to a wall. Position your left hand against the surface for stability. A lengthy corridor is ideal. Unavailable, align several chair backs to create a continuous rail. Arrange your feet in a heel-to-toe tandem alignment, mirroring the first assessment. Here is the gauntlet. With every alternate stride, rotate your head toward one plank. Step, head swivels right. Step, head returns center. Step, head swivels left. Step, head returns center. Advance forward for roughly 8 to 10 paces, and halt, pivot with care, and retrace your path. During the inaugural attempt, this will feel foreign. Your instincts will urge a broader stance. Your soles will attempt to veer outward rather than maintain the linear path. This is entirely expected. This is your neural network grappling with the demand of narrow base walking compounded by vestibular input. And that precise struggle is where adaptation and strengthening occur. Commence with merely 4 strides if 10 seems overwhelming. Distance is irrelevant. The integrity of each step is paramount. Prevalent errors. Error 1, fixating on your footwear. I comprehend the impulse. You wish to confirm foot placement. However, casting the eyes downward alters cranial positioning and actively undermines stability. It also circumvents the vestibular conditioning. Trust your soles. They remember the floor. Gaze straight ahead and employ your peripheral vision to register the wall beside you. Error 2, hastening the sequence. When a sensation of wobble emerges, humans accelerate. It is an innate response to sprint past the unstable moment. Yet speed is counterproductive. Velocity amplifies momentum, and momentum is the primary catalyst for falling. Decelerate. Error 3, rotating the torso in unison with the head, just as in drill 2. The head swivels autonomously, the shoulders remain squared forward, the hips remain squared forward. Only the skull rotates. If the entire frame twists with each head turn, you are executing a serpentine stagger rather than a straight walk. Keep the chassis quiet. Permit the head unconstrained motion. If the tandem gait with head rotation proves overly demanding presently, here is your entry point. Practice the tandem walk without head turns for the initial 7 days. Solely heel-to-toe steps with hand-to-wall contact, eyes fixed ahead. Attain mastery of the stepping pattern first. Then, in the subsequent week, integrate the head turns. There is zero dishonor in incremental progression. Indeed, that is precisely how the most durable results are forged. Here is your blueprint. Drill 3, seated sensory march, 1 minute duration. Drill 2, supported standing head navigation, 2 minutes duration. Drill 1, tandem ambulation with head pivots, 2 minutes duration, aggregate time, 5 minutes daily. Execute them sequentially, every single day. Your vestibular apparatus responds most favorably to brief, consistent exposure. 5 minutes daily surpasses a half-hour weekly commitment. Friends, you have just accomplished a feat that the vast majority of individuals never even attempt. You confronted your equilibrium. You exercised your internal gyroscope. And you furnished your brain with a stimulus it has not encountered in ages. If you felt tremulous, if you clutched the chair, that is not defeat. That is your established baseline. And baselines are potent because they possess only one trajectory, upward. Recall the test metrics from the opening segment. Record them. Affix that slip of paper to the refrigerator door. Perform these drills for a fortnight, 5 minutes per day. Then revisit this video and re-administer the evaluations. I assure you those figures will ascend. And when they do, I wish to know about it. Turn to the commentary section and share your before and after journey. Your advancement will ignite the spark for another individual to begin. If this guide delivered value, please engage the like button and forward it to a companion or relative who harbors concern regarding falls. And if you have yet to subscribe, join the Winds of Thought family. Fresh practical tutorials arrive weekly. Together, we are cultivating a community that declines to let the passage of time diminish our assurance.